Hey everybody, it's GoblinX, and welcome to this week's Midweek Magic Event, which is Momir. If you've never heard of Momir before, it is a very fun, absolutely chaotic format. It is pure randomness. What you get to do is make a random creature at mana value X once per turn, every turn. That is all you do. Everyone's decks is all basic lands, and you just use this factory of Momir Vig instead on curve, see what comes out, see who gets the better creatures, who gets the flyers and the unblockable creatures to beat their opponent to death first. Very fun format. It is not complete pure RNG. That is the only thing that matters to who gets the better boards and everything. But there is still a little bit of combat math, choosing when to block, when to attack, that you can use to your advantage to gain a slight advantage, but it is still like the most high variance format ever created. I don't want to pretend it's all skill or anything. It is far, far from that, but it is a very fun time. It is completely free, as they always just bring it back for these midweek magic events, and it is a pretty fun format to go ahead and get your random rare rewards. So without further ado, let's just hop into things. Let us see what we get today from the factory of Momir Vig. Alright, we are on the play here. In Momir, on Arena at least, I don't care too much whether I'm on the play or on the draw. I do like to skip 1-mana creatures generally in Momir, because those will almost always become irrelevant very, very quickly. Now, if you're super lucky and you get one of the 1-mana mana dorks like Llanowar Elves or Birds of Paradise, you could still get something that impacts the game starting turn 1, but I think the average 1-drop will stop being important very, very quickly. But 2 enough, you're perfectly fine to start going with. Alright, so we've got a pretty good start here. So we started with a 2/2 flyer, followed up with a 2/2 with no relevant abilities. And our opponent started with 2 1/1s for 2 mana. Their 3-mana card is a 2/3 with no relevant abilities. Now, they could get something that puts counters on it, and then that could change things. But generally won't happen. Oh, this is an incredible start for Momir. The best cards that you can get in general, like generally speaking, are those with flying or unblockability of some kind, because the only thing that people are doing is like playing a creature every single turn. The board states just get really cluttered. You need to have ways to break through and keep getting damage in, and the easiest way is to just get a bunch of flyers. Oh my god, you can't make it up. So this isn't going to seek any cards, so it's just the 4/4. Yeah, our opponent is sad. There we go. Our Momir luck is incredible this first game. Just 3 flyers out of our 4 activations. There's a Tazri, which doesn't do anything, just a 4/6 on the ground. You should see my other deck. Nice. Oh my god! He can't keep getting away with it. Another flyer? But it's a 3/5 flyer, so the buzzards are circling. We'll give the little angry face, the little evil face. One flying blocker is not enough. We'll send in the team, and that'll be game. Sure, I guess I'll auto-pay. Just click through it. And that's lethal there. That's Momir for you. That's how the average game of Momir goes. Each player goes back and forth. Whoever gets the most flying or unblockable creatures wins. And, yeah, you just kind of see what happens along the way. So, that is a victory in our very first game. That is our random rare reward. I'm always hoping that I just get a random rare from a set that I already have completed, so I get 20 gems, and we did. We got a rare from Wilds of Eldraine. Great draft format, so I completed the whole set drafting, so 20 gems to start us off. Here we are for game 2 of Momir. We're on the play again. We'll start things on turn 2 again, get that curve going. I like to get 1 land of every color out in Momir. That way any activated abilities that we get, we can use. And there's not a huge risk of getting a land of every color on Momir on Arena. Now on Magic Online, you have cards from the entirety of Magic's history, all the way from the very first sets. So there are land walkers, like forest walkers, island walkers, planeswalkers, and stuff. So the other kind of planeswalker, not the Chandra kind of planeswalker. But yeah, when you're playing Momir on Magic Online, you can focus on just like red and black mana, because those are the colors that will give you like removal spell style abilities on your creatures. So those are the most relevant abilities to be able to activate if you randomly get one, and that helps you dodge some random land walkers from your opponent if they get one, by just avoiding playing the other colors of lands, unless you draw an ability of that color at random. Opponent's first 2 hits here have not done anything, luckily. And we've only got one that does anything relevant. We've got 1 flyer, but that's still pretty good. That's a 4/4 with no abilities. Fine. We trade 4/4s with no text with each other. And their 5 mana hit is Techova, which is actually pretty great. They will gain a life and draw a card every turn. Drawing a card doesn't matter a massive amount in Momir. You know, like card advantage doesn't really matter, but it will mean that they can keep getting to even higher and higher mana values. So they can play a creature and a land every single turn, whereas we're going to run out of lands next turn, right? We're going to stop at 7 mana, will be the top of our mana curve, just hitting random 7 mana creatures, but our opponent will be able to keep going up, start playing random 10 mana creatures looking for an Emrakul or something. Especially with Primeval Titan after the Techova. Also the life gain super relevant as well, slowing down our flying damage. Well, let's see what we get. We're at our 7 drops. Oh, I didn't realize that was a plains. I should have played the plains instead of the mountain. You're just kind of clicking too fast, kind of keep the video rolling. Is Momir. I don't care too much if I accidentally misplay. So I'm just kind of speeding through these things. They got an 8/8. Pretty cool. Kill one of our 4/4s here. Die on the crackback, I believe. Yep, should be lethal. I guess it's 1 damage off of lethal. I was wrong. But I think worth that all attacks so that they're dead in the sky next turn. Watch me get a haster, because I miscounted. Oh, that's so filthy. That's actually perfect. When your opponent's at 1 life, yeah, let's make 5 flyers, all with at least 1 power. There's a Galta, but it is not going to be enough against all these bees. Our opponent is Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man. We've got the bees. That is going to be 2-0 now, getting our 2nd random rare reward from this Momir event. Another 20 gems, this time from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Now we just need to keep playing until we get 1 more win to maximize our Midweek Magic prizes. Continue down the path to the 52 Midweek Magic achievement, where you have to play like 52 Midweek Magics. Alright, on the play again. We'll just start things off on turn 2 again. Consistently great for us so far, but we've been consistently lucky so far. So there's that. That's a pretty good one to hit if they don't get a big enough block. If they get a 1/3 or something here, there's plenty of 2-mana 1/3s in the game. And this is going to go wild. 1/1? It's actually a solid 1/1, but the fact that it's a 1/1 is incredibly good for me. Oh my god, another flyer. Just unstoppable luck here. And yeah, because the zombies that it makes are decayed, that's why I'm in such a good spot. Wow. This is also a ridiculous one, right? Every time it attacks, I get a 1/1 on the board. It's usually pretty easy to keep getting in with your flyers and Momir. Alright, they did hit a flyer themselves, so they can go ahead and kill one of these two. I'll still leave one of them behind here. My value off it. These are both pretty comparably good. I think the 1/1 bodies that this one makes don't matter an insane amount, when the other one can just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we'll let them trade for whichever one they want to get extra damage in here. I assume that we're going to keep, yeah, the one that keeps getting bigger. Probably just going to keep putting +1/+1 counters on it to try to keep it out of range of whatever flying or reach blocker they end up getting. Make it as likely as possible that it's too big. Oh, a Lord of the Rings tree folk? That's so cool. When we're taxing sack another creature or a token, give somebody -2/-2 on their turn. That's not the worst. In Momir. Doesn't help them a massive amount on the current board, because it's not big enough to kill the flyer. Oh my god, Urbrask is ridiculous in this format. All their creatures that are tapped now. Actually, the old man's pretty good with the Ghoul Caller, the Jadar. Because the decayed creature keeps coming back. It's a pretty nice combo. And also, they just got a 4/5 flying lifelinker. So they could be stabilizing here. Those were some really good hits these last 2 turns. Yeah, so old man comes in, throws a zombie at my 1/1. And can kill my Urbrask if I double block. I think I take the 5. Because Urbrask makes any creature I hit here have haste, so we have a solid chance of just winning off of a strong enough 6-drop. Like a Trampler. Okay, I don't think that wins immediately, but it's incredibly good. 5, 7, 8, 9. They block there. Take 10, 11. They go to 2 life. Wow. Incredible luck on this Momir Midweek Magic. We get all 3 of our wins within just 13 minutes of recording. The quick 3-0. That's Momir for you. It was basically all one off of flyers. Let's see what our mystery cosmetic is. Ooh, we got a non-parallax card style. I actually do like the non-parallax card styles, the special borders and all that. They're cool to look at. The showcase treatments. It's for Cursed Recording from Duskborn, which we will be drafting some more this week, as it is the flashback draft format for the week. So maybe we'll play around with some fancy art Cursed Recording. Probably not. This card is not very good in draft. It's a fun one to build around if you get it early enough. There are some good instants and sorceries in red, but there's enough like enchantments that work as your instants and sorceries with the room ability that it's much worse than it would be in a lot of other sets where blue-red actually is an instant sorcery deck. But the artwork's really cool. Border's cool. Cool stuff from the event. Well, that's going to do it in terms of winning the event, getting the full 3-0, but that was a very, very quick video, very, very quick event, so I'm just going to keep playing until we get a loss. We'll see how long the Gods of Arena decide to let Momir just align in my advantage. Yeah, we'll just keep playing until we grab a loss here, give you all some more Momir to watch. Back when I first started this channel, well, not when I first started playing a lot of Arena on this channel, I played a lot of Momir. I was sort of the Momir guy, but that's because back then they had Momir events. You could actually pay gold and then win. If you won enough games in Momir, you would be up in money. You would be up in gold. So I did a lot of those Momir events. But now it's always the free Midweek Magic event, which makes sense for a format like this, but it also makes it so there's like not a great ending point for it, you know? Like if you just go 3-0 immediately, it's like you played 10 minutes of Momir. And then from then on, it's just like purely for fun. I do like playing things in an event structure, I guess, because I'm really used to it because of drafting. I'm used to like, yeah, I played all 7 wins or 3 losses. So it'd be nice if they had some kind of structure to the Momir, but I understand why they don't. I think a lot of people just would not be interested in spending gold on something this random. So the relevant abilities they have are a 3/2 that dies into a 1/1, and that's it. The relevant abilities we have are 1 flying creature, and that's it. No other text really on these cards. There's another flying creature. It'll be 4-0 here. But things can change on a dime in Momir. You could get any creature from the entirety of the game, like a Dritz Duerden. It's a very scary one. This keeps getting bigger when like any creatures are dying. That could be bad. But there's like some really, really gnarly ones for Momir specifically, like Hoverguard Sweepers is like a 5/6 flyer, and you put 2 creatures back to their hands when it enters the battlefield, and because everything's a token, if you put them back to the hand, they're just permanently gone. So there are some huge swings. There's also Demon Lord Belzenlock at 6 mana, which mills you until you hit a non-land card, and because our decks are all lands, if somebody just goes for a 6-drop and it's Demon Lord Belzenlock, they just lose. So you really never know what could happen in Momir. There's always a tiny, tiny, tiny chance that something insane happens to change things around. So far, we are still very favored. We will kill them in just 2 more attacks. If they don't find a creature that manages to blow up our flyers. And now here's time for their final Momir attempt. Sylvan Primordial cannot blow up our flyers. It does have reach, but we have 2 flyers and they have 1 reach blocker, so one of our flyers will hit them for 3, and that will end this game at 4-0 in Momir today. And there's the concession. All right, here we are on the draw for game number 5. Start things on turn 2. Because we're on the draw, we'll make it up to 8 mana creatures starting on turn 2 on the draw. We got a 2/2 Death Touch. Not the worst hit ever. The fact that it has Death Touch means that we'll be able to clear out something relevant later. Our opponent got a 4/2, so might have to clear something out real quick. Can also stop us from blocking with creatures with power 2 or less, but generally speaking, you should always just use your mana on playing another creature rather than doing some ability like that. But we did hit another 2 power less creature, so we could do that here. Skip a turn. They are going to go ahead and just keep making creatures. Get a 3/3 Menace. So both of their creatures have pseudo evasion, but not like the good kind of evasion for Momir. Solid hit there. We got their 4-drop, but better. Just a menacer that's going to get a little bit bigger, eating our rats that can't block. These rats are completely useless in terms of doing anything else in Momir. Okay, I was going to say, Arena kind of glitched, and I can't unhighlight this thing. They got a real bad 5-drop just to gain 3 there. All right, they can clear out my Death Toucher here. Somebody gets first strike and somebody gets lifelink. Interesting. Probably not very relevant, but important to remember that. Just in case. Each player sacks a permanent. Sack our rat token here, I think. That was a pretty good hit for us, thanks to the rat token. I don't know if Rona's irrelevant enough to just make this a 5/5, because I don't need to get to like 12 mana or anything, so I'm just going to decline here. I generally stop at like 8 mana. Full flyer, I'll take it. Don't really need to do anything else in Momir. Oh, jeez, 6/6 flyer and 2 1/1s. They do have to sack a creature every turn, but that's easy enough in Momir. That is really threatening. Well, there's the 6/8 reach for it, and we're back to staring at each other. And they're going for 8 mana. The first 8 mana card. Oh no, the Secret Reach. The first 8 mana card is the 4/8 flying, double strike, vigilance. You name it. I can't unhighlight. Why? It's taking me forever to unhighlight now on this update. Ours is Gate Colossus. Not quite as good. Not quite as good as Zatalpa, but pretty good. Man, the vigilance. Just get demolished by this Zatalpa. Oh my god, Zatalpa into Vorinclex? I think they got us here. We have no way to kill that. We don't have a way to block it without fully losing our creature. That kills us in 3 swings, and now I have a single turn to hit a good 8-drop. Because if I don't, my lands are all stunned. I think we go for 8-drops over 9-drops, because 8-drops include Hoverguard Sweepers that could bounce 2 of their cards, whereas 9-drops, they put in some random duds. I mean, they put some random duds in at 8 mana as well. It could be like Wolfpack or something, I think, is at 9. Which is like a 8/5 with basically no abilities. I think I go 8. Right, because the best thing we can get at 9 mana is Zakama anyway, and Zakama doesn't work if all your lands are stunned. But Zakama just doesn't do anything, regardless. Zakama's a 9/9. You can spend 2 in a red to deal 3 to something. You can spend 2 in a green to blow up an artifact or enchantment. And you can spend 2 in a white to gain a life. That is a cool Villas artwork, but Villas is not actually going to help us enough here, I think. We just can't break through Zatalpa. We can't block Zatalpa still. Oh, I can't do anything next turn now. Think they got us? This is a Talpa Vorinclex top end wombo combo. Go for a 10 drop. Just get an 8/8 with no abilities. This is what I mean, where like the higher mana values actually start getting really inconsistent because there's like weird stuff that you're supposed to like cheat into play or just doesn't work in Momir. Probably have to chump here. Yeah, another 10 drop that just doesn't do it in Momir. 7/7, period. I mean, 7/7 trample haste, but its ability doesn't work. Alright, let's draw 12 rather than lose the 8/8. Not that the draw 12 matters in Momir, but this will be our final chance. Just praying for Hoverguard Sweepers that enter the battlefield, bounce 2 creatures back to their hands is our one real out against an indestructible card. Again, it's any creature on the entirety of Arena. This is going to be a lot faster if I do this the other way. It's any creature out of the entirety of Arena. So there are other outs, but I think this is like the most likely. I think there's less 8 drops than other stuff. Just slightly more likely to hit that 1 8 drop than trying to hit like one of 2 different 4 drops that could bounce a creature when it enters, or one of 4 different 3 drops that could do it. Alright. I don't remember if I played a land this turn. I might have clicked too fast there. Okay, that one's not the worst. Out of 10 drops, 10/10 reach trample. Do I just go to 1 here? Probably not. Because then I'm dead to just like attack all. Maybe I can get the new Argear thing. Argear is a 2 and a blue spider hero. Return a creature to its owner's hand when it enters. I did it the wrong order again. But there are so many 3 mana creatures, the odds of that specific one are massively low. Yep, that ain't it. That ain't it. But I could only choose between 3 or 4 at that point. Form? I don't know what is more likely to hit something that would work. Something that bounces or exiles. I don't know which has a higher proportion between 3 mana and 4 mana creatures. Mana value they go for? They went for 10 again. Which is again a 10 mana 8/8 with no relevant abilities. This is probably dead. If it isn't, the fact that we get rid of Vorinclex is nice. That makes me take 3 blocking like that. Oh yeah, this is dead. With the 17 power of trample over there, that's certainly dead. Because then it's like, here, that's not trample, so put the tiniest creature there. That's not trampled with the tiniest creature there. Yeah, that's dead. All right. Oh, Zatalpa Vorinclex. Just by far the most relevant cards of the game. We finally find our loss at exactly the half-hour mark. Nice. That is about how long I wanted the video to be, so that'll balance it out perfectly well for us. That is 4-1 for this Midweek Magic Momir event. Definitely check it out if you want to play some RNG. If you want to work on that Midweek Magic achievement as well, you have to complete 13 for the Vanquish the Week. See you next week emote, and then 52 for the Weekly Warrior title. As you can see, I've been slacking. I basically only play them when they're Momir or drafts, so I'm very far away from the 52. So this is a fun way to go ahead and get some progress on your Midweek Magic achievements without having to like build a constructed deck if you don't have the cards for it or anything like that. It's a phantom event. You just show up and play, and you're good. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube audience, send us more recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, check out the Twitch channel, link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.